The study of religion, and beyond to the nature of the human spirit, was a subject of deep interest to Margaret Fuller. Throughout her adult years, she identified increasingly with mysticism, and that the real church was the inward life of solitary spiritual illumination, not the building whose very steeple pointed beyond itself. Again, this from her seminal work on women. Mysticism, which may be defined as the brooding soul of the world, cannot fail of its oracular promise as to women. The mothers, the mother of all things, are expressions of thought which lead the mind toward this side of universal growth. If it be true, as the legend says, that humanity withers through a fault committed by and a curse laid upon woman, through her pure child or influence shall the new Adam, the redemption, arise. Innocence is to be replaced by virtue, dependence by a willing submission in the heart of the Virgin Mother of the new race. Fuller and many other transcendentalists saw mysticism as an intuitive quest for spiritual emancipation. Margaret saw mysticism as critical to defining the democratic individuality at the heart of this worldview for women. And yet she also possessed a very Taoist appreciation of the cosmic implications of mysticism, what would today be a very modern quantum approach to a universalist theology. This once more from her memoirs. I remember how as a little child I had stopped myself one day on the stairs and asked, "How came I here? How is it that I seem to be this Margaret Fuller? What does it mean? What shall I do about it?" I saw how long it must be before the soul can learn to act under these limitations of time and space and human nature. I saw also that it must do it. That it must make all this false true, and sow new and immortal plants in the garden of God before it could return again. I saw that there was no self, that selfishness was all folly, and the result of circumstance, and that it was only because I thought self real that I suffered, that I only had to live in the idea of the all, and all was mine. So in this conversation with Margaret Fuller, we've explored the notion that we must acknowledge that each of us has a unique gift to be discerned. That in order to discern these gifts, we must suffer, as that is the natural catalyst for identification. And that we must know that this gift is not ours alone, but belongs to all of humanity. In a sense, we check this gift out of the cosmic library and may use it throughout our lifetimes. Margaret Fuller's gift was her ability to see women as complete souls, deserving of the same rights and privileges of men, and able to contribute equally, not only in the home, but in the community and the world. And her gift included possessing the voice and the hand to speak and to write that vision for others to heed. We have Margaret Fuller to thank for an unknown number of women and men influenced by her words. The tragedy of our modern world is that, perhaps for the first time in human existence, every person has the capacity to discern their truly unique gift, their purpose in life. And yet, greed and ignorance, lingering tribalism, and ever-present courage-sapping fear keep us from achieving this marvelous transformation of society. For if every person were free to discern and to act upon their gift, our reliance on systems of ownership and control would shrink into insignificance. Our worship of celebrity would dwindle into the quaint purview of nostalgia, and our culture of violence would fade into a pseudo-history of myth and legend, whose only remaining purpose would be to frighten small children and to provide us with amusing anecdotes. Have you sought out and identified your unique gift? What forces push and pull you as you walk that balance beam of your life? And once you find your gift, how will you utilize it to better not only your own life, but the lives of those around you? Spirit of life and love that we know by many names, join with us now as we enter an attitude of reflection, prayer, and meditation. As Unitarian Universalists, we often struggle with the deeper meaning underlying our 7 principles. Affirming the inherent worth and dignity of every person may not be significantly distinguishing from other religious traditions, but believing in the inherent worth and dignity means more than affirming the sacredness of life. It means that we believe each and every person matters, because each and every person offers something special to our human family. What do you offer that is special? Spirit of community, infuse us with the noble fearlessness that gives wings to the mind to soar beyond the common ken. Force of reason, show us how to bear the pain of imperfection, but not of doubt. Power of love, console us with the knowledge that though the millions suffer shipwreck, noble hearts survive. Let it be so. And these closing words, again from Margaret Fuller's memoirs. Let me but gather from the earth one full-grown fragrant flower. Within my bosom, let it bloom through its one blooming hour. Within my bosom, let it die, and to its latest breath, my own shall answer, having lived, I shrink not now from death. Until next time.